Welcome back to the School of Hard Knocks podcast. It's your host, Mark W. Knox. Let me tell you what's not fair. Let me just jump right in. This is number 2 of the School of Hard Knocks summer series. This is number 2. Let me tell you what's not fair. What's not fair is when I tell you what I want to do, what my dreams are, what my goals are, what my aspirations are. When I think enough of you to share what I want to do, what I'm thinking about doing, and you cast your fears of that topic on me, then you got me all jacked up. Right? This reminds me of the book Landlording by Joanne Ramsey. Definitely pick that up for sure. Link is in my bio. Link is also in the show notes. But there was a portion where he talked about not letting other people's fears affect you. And I'm on that right now because just in general, there was a lot of people thinking back that when I used to tell people that I was starting a podcast, because there was about a 30-day time frame in there from when we did the preview episode to when we launched episode 1. There was about 30 days in between. And man, just the amount of people that offered encouragements was great. Like, it was like, hey, I'm starting a podcast. It's about this. And a lot of people would be like, yo, that's dope. I'm going to support you. I'm going to listen. But then there was a whole nother group of individuals, some close, to be honest with you, that was like, dang, you bored? Like, dang, you got that much time on your hands? Or people that be like, oh, but wait till the twins come. When the twins come, you ain't gonna have time to do that. Or, I don't even listen to podcasts. Like, people don't listen to podcasts. Or, that's too long. You're gonna make it you're gonna make it 45 minutes. That's too long. Like, you should make it like 10 minutes. I'm talking about like unwelcomed negative consulting. You know what I mean? And to be honest, I don't know what I was looking for. Like, I don't know what reaction I was looking for when I used to tell people I'm gonna start a podcast. I don't know what reaction I was looking for, but it wasn't that. There was also the time when, when we had already started the show and we were on like episode 6 or 7, and we're getting there. We passed that episode 7 part where most podcasts go to die, and you tell people, yeah, I have a podcast, and the first thing they say is they say, I used to have a podcast, and they'll be like, oh, it's hard. Oh, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Or they'll say, you'll say, I'm about to start a podcast, or I already have a podcast, and they'll be like, oh, my cousin got a podcast. And you'd be like, okay, that's what's up. I'm serious. And then you ask people like, yo, okay, what episode are you on? Because as a podcaster, everything's about consistency, and everything is about kind of building that body of work. So one of the first things you ask, just to see how long somebody been in the game or how consistent they've been, is you say, how many episodes? What episode are you on? Right? It's kind of like the gauge. And the same people that will say, after I say I have a podcast, and they say, oh, I used to have a podcast, and then you'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, how many episodes? And you, in your mind, you're looking for them to say like they did it for a year, so 50 something at least, right? They're like, oh, I had like 3 episodes, then I had to quit, and then I wasn't doing it right, and then I got busy, or we had a show with 5 other people, and we just couldn't get everybody to. And you like, yo, like, thanks for the well wishes, right? And I'm serious when, I'm joking right now, but casting your fears, and what I mean by casting is putting your fears on other people that are trying to do stuff is so not fair. And I do believe that some people don't do it on purpose, right? I do believe some people don't do it on purpose, but I do believe some people do. I do believe that there are people out here that when you tell them what you want to do, the first thing that they say is something negative, and it's like, man, like I was kind of looking for you to encourage me a little bit, right? Or when somebody tells you they want to do something, you point out every negative aspect of that thing. And the reality is you don't know anything about that thing because you didn't do it. You've never done it. Right? I mean, yeah. No, listen, there's some frustration in my voice. I get it. I'm sorry. But this is something that's near and dear because the people that I coach they have circles full of these people. They have circles full of people that are casting fears on them. And one of the things that's frustrating as a coach is we can make progress from month to month, session to session. And then all of a sudden I get you on the Zoom and we're talking. And then you start telling me about what your cousin said or what your sister or what your mom or what your dad said. And it derails our whole flow. It derails all of our progress because I get it. I'm your coach. You've only known me for, several months, whatever. And you take what I say, you respect what I say. It holds a lot of weight, but it doesn't compare if it's your mom or your brother or your cousin telling you the same stuff or something negative. So I'm constantly having to fight these battles on behalf of my clients to say, listen, has your mother or has your brother ever owned rental property? And they're like, no. Okay, so why are you listening to them talk about how bad it's going to be to deal with maintenance? They've never owned rental property before. They don't know. They're casting their fears on you, right? I mean, literally, like people have developed an entire picture in their mind of what you're doing. And then they think it's okay to dictate that to you. And what they don't realize is they're messing you up. They're setting you back, right? I mean, talking about the podcasting thing, it's like when I was telling people I was going to do a show every week, people would be like, every week? Like, how can you, like, that's every week? And it's like, yeah, every week. I'm going to make it a priority every week. And here we are, episode 90 something every week. Haven't missed a week. And to be honest, yeah, it was difficult at times, but in general, it's not that hard to set out a couple hours a week. But the reality is people cast their fears on you. They cast their doubts on you. And it really affects you. You somebody like me, I'm a high I, I'm a flight attendant, right? So, you might have to go back a couple episodes to realize what I just said. I'm not an actual flight attendant, but that is my behavioral trait. That is the persona that is attached to my behavioral trait. I'm a flight attendant. I'm a people person. So when people say things to me, I immediately have an emotional response. And it's not always positive. So if you're in my circle and I tell you I'm going to do something or I'm doing something, if you do not have anything encouraging or positive to say about the something that I'm doing, please hold your breath. And I mean that respectfully. Please hold your breath. I don't want to hear about anybody's negative perception of anything that I have going on. And I challenge you, if you have other people in your life who are more ambitious than you, and I know that sounds harsh, but you got other people in your life that might be more ambitious than you, that are constantly doing things, do not cast your fears and your doubt on them. Do not tell them that they're doing too much. Do not tell them that they don't have time for that. Do not tell them that their lifestyle or their family dynamic will not support what it is that they're trying to do. Just don't say anything, because 9 times out of 10, that individual has thought about that a lot longer than you have. And what they don't need is for you to come into their arena and start giving them all of the negative things. Now, you may think you're helping them. You may think you're giving them advice. You may think that you're trying to protect them from failure. That's not your job. I'm here to tell you that that's not your job. If someone is about to embark on something, they're about to embark on a journey, it is not your job to protect them unless they are, your child and you have experience in doing what it is that they say they want to do. If you don't have experience in doing what it is they say they want to do, then keep your mouth closed, to be frank. You know how many people in high school and in the neighborhood told me that college wasn't worth it, or college was, man, when I was in high school, senior, thinking about going to school, thinking about what school I was going to go to, used to tell people, in my neighborhood, used to tell people whatever that I was close to. Yeah, I'm going to college in the fall, going to Wright State, so on and so forth. Man, people used to be like, oh, you're going to have mass loans when you graduate. Dang, it's too expensive. You going to go that far away from home? I'm like, it's only 45 minutes. They like, but I mean, what if something happened to your mom? You're going to have to get back real quick. And why don't you just go to Cincinnati State, or why don't you just go to UC because it's closer and you could be close? Do you know how many people told me those things? People cast their fears about something that they don't know anything about. These same people ain't never been to college, casting their fears on me. And that's why I said it's not fair. And that's why I'm passionate about this topic, because if I was to listen to people who told me, or people who put their fears on me in life, I wouldn't be half of what I am right now, just in terms of what I've been able to achieve. I mean, me and Cece got married. Man, this is the big one. Me and Cece got married young, I guess. I mean, some people say we've been married 12 years now. So let me see. I was 24, 23, something like that. And I engaged her. I asked her to marry me when she was coming out of her junior year in college. And people was like, oh, you young. That's too young to get married. Y'all gonna grow up and be apart, and y'all ain't lived yet and all this. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, like, man, like, I'm telling you, I'm getting married. I was looking for a positive encouragement. And what you just did was tell me that I'm going to be divorced in 2 years based on something that you have no experience with. Number one, you never been married. Number two, you never been married clean. Let's just say that, just lack of a better term. You ain't never lived a clean marriage, right? So the reality is you casting your fears about marriage on me. So again, I say, if I would have listened to those people, I would not be half of what I am right now based on what I've been able to achieve. It's not fair. Stop doing it. Keep your mouth closed. Do not project your fears and doubts on other people. Please, please examine what comes out of your mouth. Words have power. You putting that on people that, number one, don't deserve it. Number two, didn't ask for it. Number three, it's not your responsibility. You're not everybody's consultant. You're not everybody's life coach. Like, let's just be honest, right? If you were sweet enough to be a life coach, then you probably would be a life coach. But your opinions don't mean much to people that's more ambitious than you. Dang, I know that was harsh. But I'm not talking to y'all. I'm not talking to the people who listen to this show. The people who listen to this show are on the other side of that. The people who listen to this show are the ones that are trying to combat negative fear and doubt from other people. I know that for a fact. I'm just speaking, just from me, from the heart right now. Figure that out. Get those people as far away from you professionally as you can. Y'all can still be friends, but don't give them the privilege of sharing your thoughts and ideas. Just don't do it. Sit back, share it with people that's going to encourage you. Share it with, I don't know, the Dean's List group, www.hardknocksπodcast.com/insiders with an S. Share it with the Dean's List group. You're not going to get none of that. I'm talking about a fearless group of people that's going to encourage you on every front, right? So this has been the School of Hard Knocks podcast. This is session number 2 of the School of Hard Knocks podcast summer series. We've talked about casting your fears on others and why it is not fair. Just don't do it. Class is dismissed, y'all. YouTube family, thank you so much. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Listen, we are growing our channel organically, right? That's what we say. We're growing it organically. Basically what that means is we're relying on you. We're relying on you to get the word out. We're relying on you to spread the message. We're relying on you to share it. Because to be honest with you, the topics that we talk about are not that popular, right? They're just not that popular. Now they popular with you because we know that you're trying to do something. We know that you're trying to make change for not only yourself, but your family as well. You're trying to build legacy. You're trying to break generational curses. So listen, one way that you can begin that process is to register for the Dean's List. That's hardknockspodcast.com/Dean's List. /insiders. Okay. /insiders with an S. Make sure you register for this program. It is a 6-week group coaching program. It is $99 for 6 weeks of group coaching. That is an amazing value. Amazing value. Okay. So listen, visit www.hardknockspodcast.com/insiders. And we will see you next week. Thank you very much, guys. Have a good one.